What's up, Sooner Nation, Surgeaholics? Welcome to the 9:30 nightly live show, Sooner Surge podcast, telling it like it is. OU men's basketball in action right now against the Longhorns. Not a great start, but it's a great start tonight on the Sooner Surge because Steve Stutzman's in the house in the chat talking about how Danny is eating, sleeping, training, getting ready for the big-time draft, seeing where he will land. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he lands, man. Tampa would be great. I'm sure it'd be great for Tampa Bay Bucks. Wouldn't that be great for Steve and family for sure?
And Jay, you're gonna have to help me out. I can't see any comment. So
what's going on? Why can't you see the comments?
I can only see half. I can only see you on the screen, so I can't see the comments that are longer.
That's the best part. Maybe you should fix your phone. Maybe something's going on with it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I see Isaiah Hartenstein out for a week. Yes. OU's already down by 10 in basketball. Jeez. Must-win game. Must win. Have to. You got there's the StreamYard link. If you want to call in, click the link.
Chester said he's going to call in early and make everyone mad. So I'm curious what that is.
Yeah, what's that going to be about? OU is so bad as far as basketball, and there's Chester right there. That did not take long for Chester to get in here. Chester, I don't know if you have to work tonight, but welcome to the show.
So I'm glad you opened it up early. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody ahead of time, even the ones that actually like me are going to hate this one. So here we go.
Oh, boy.
Buckle up.
Y'all were talking about the elite running backs we've had. First of all, how can Rodney Anderson not be an elite running back when he ran for, 230 against Georgia in a playoff game in one half?
I said Rodney was elite.
And it seems like most Sooner fans think AP is AD is the greatest ever. I'm going to tell you why I totally disagree, and this is where everybody's going to hate me. USC bowl game, he did nothing.
Yeah, but that was so out of
question. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. 2005 was a rebuild, but it was built completely around Adrian Peterson. That whole offense was designed for Peterson. We went to the Holiday Bowl and he did nothing against Oregon. Here comes. It's going to get worse. Y'all ready for this?
Sure.
2006 season. The best job Stoops ever did, in my opinion. Peterson showboating and all that. We lost 2 games with him. He gets hurt. OU goes undefeated 8 games in a row without him.
Hey, Chester, I got a question for you.
Go ahead, man.
How can you sit here and say Adrian Peterson wasn't an elite running back? Have you?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
Oh, I thought you were saying
that everybody says he's the greatest one in OU history.
It's an opinion. Yeah, it's an opinion question. I mean, a lot of
people didn't see. In my personal opinion, I think he's 4th all time in OU.
Who would you rank 3 ahead of him? What 3?
All right, number 1, Billy Sims. Number 2, Joe Washington. And this one I'm going to get flack for, but number 3, Billy Vessels. And
now,
the reason I say Vessels.
How many of those did you see?
Personally?
Did you grow up?
None of them. I didn't see. If you're talking saw them live, none of them. If you're talking about seeing highlights and listening to Dad.
Yeah, what? I mean, I think some people just haven't seen like Marcus Dupree. A lot of people didn't watch Marcus Dupree.
I saw a little bit of him, but I was young. But I remember I thought he was amazing as a kid. So I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm not saying Adrian Peterson had.
No, Adrian Peterson was great. But I have to point out 2006. I have to. Okay?
Yeah, they had a really good team that year. I mean,
when he went down, we had already lost twice. And then we went 8 games in a row undefeated. Undefeated. And then we lost to Boise when he came back. That's all I'm going to say about him.
Well, and I think my thing is, and the reason I put him way up there in OU is because I also include his NFL career.
Now, I agree with y'all. I never thought Kennedy Brooks was elite, and everybody says he was slow. but memory serves me correctly, he had a ton of long runs and long touchdown runs. So he must not have been that dang slow.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for starting it off, Chester.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, hey, when I'm off Sunday, well, actually, I'm moving. I don't know if I have time. I'm going to research DeMarco Murray's recruits since he's been here because it's bad. Kind of like I did Beatembo because DeMarco's bad too.
Good topic.
I'm not sure it's bad in recruiting as much as they haven't
Chester.
developed anyone.
Yeah, and you can't always tell.
Hey, the fact is, Taylor Tatum was a top 2 or 3 running back in the entire country. So
yeah, that's fair. He's only a true freshman. I'm waiting and seeing on Taylor Tatum, guys. I don't know.
Hey, and to Chester's point about, well, they didn't lose a game after he went out. I can think of a lot of examples in sports where a stud goes out of the game and teams still win. Teams win without their stud. Does that mean the guy wasn't a stud? I'm just curious.
I don't know, but Matt, that comment there's no credibility at all with what you put in here.
No, Matt doesn't have credibility. If he did have any, it's gone.
Matt, to be fair, if you're going to put a comment like that, then there's no anything you say in this chat. There's no credibility.
Correct.
I'm sorry to say one of the greatest running backs in the history of football is mid. Sorry, unless you're talking about another AP, then I don't know. What
AP is Alan. If you want to say Alan Patrick was mid.
Alan Patrick.
Okay. Yeah, but it's AD, not AP.
Yeah, Hall of Famers mid. That's weird. That's a weird take. I don't know what makes you say a take like that, but that's weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sounds like OU's getting work tonight already. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a bad start early on, Jay. They changed the lineup. They sit Kobe Elvis, but they keep Sam Godwin in the starting lineup.
Yeah, they had to change it up, I think, Jerm, just because you're 0-3, change some things up. But Matt's talking about Antonio Park. Okay.
There wasn't an Antonio Park. There's an Antonio Park.
I don't know what Matt's talking about. Who would start if we had AP and Billy Vessels on the same team?
Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson would be the starter. For the same reason that people want to argue about other sports, they say, well, back in the day, the athleticism wasn't there. It's the same reason. Jay, I know this isn't a Dallas Cowboy channel, but what do you think of the rumor about former Jets coach?
I like Sala. I like him quite a bit.
I do too. I like him a
now,
lot.
Whether he would work at Dallas, I don't know. I think Dallas would be better off going and getting a big-time personality. I don't see Sala as that. You know what I would love, though? I would love Danny Stutzman to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Be fine with
that. I wonder where, Hunter, you may know, projection. I haven't looked at any mock drafts. Are you notice any about where the OU guys are going to go? Curious on that. Yeah, and guys, responding to Matt's question of who is AD is just no need. No need.
Hey, don't you think that Danny Stutzman's going to be the highest drafted guy? Right?
Well, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned who's going to be drafted. You got Danny Stutzman. You got Billy Bowman. Trying to go down the list here. Am I missing something?
No, you're not missing it. There's a couple other guys that are going to be drafted late.
I don't know what Michael's asking here from you, Jerem.
And I'm not spilling any beans tonight. Hey, Eric, I agree at OU. OU didn't use him very much out of the backfield. With Minnesota and in the NFL, he wasn't bad out of the backfield.
Hey, and I saw Eric's comment, and when he's talking about pass catcher, he put in there, I think he put Reggie Bush over Adrian Peterson. Two totally different running backs for sure. But I will say, like, either one of those guys could house call at any time. The one thing that Reggie Bush had, Ethan Downs. Yeah, how did I forget that? Ethan Downs for sure. The other thing is Bush was so good out of the backfield. It was unbelievable. He was almost like a wide receiver. He was that good out of the backfield. And Downs, and also there's going to be guys that'll be unrestricted free agents. I mean, you look at a guy like, Caden Wooler, I don't know, maybe make it unrestricted. I don't know, but I think Downs will be late. Yeah. So Michael says Stutz mid-second, Bowman late third, early fourth. I don't know if he's talking about.
And here's
mocks.
the thing. Here's the thing.
Depends on what teams. It depends on what the teams need that draft.
Yeah, that's.
You could go higher.
How would you do on the Wonderlic test?
I don't even know if I would get a passing grade on that because I don't know what they ask on that. That'd be something. I wonder what they ask on that stuff.
Can we get a copy of the Wonderlic test for the Surgeaholics?
Maybe we should have every. You know what? This would be a great. Either put it in our Discord Wonderlic test. Everybody's got to take it and see how they perform. That would be pretty good.
Hey, yeah, there's not. I mean, there are a couple big time guys who entered the portal.
Did you see the Washington State lineman? Another lineman entered the portal. I got a question.
Well, Jay, let me say there's a lot of grad transfers.
Okay, they're graduate transfers. That's why they're entering.
Well, I saw a couple grad transfers enter today. Obviously, one guy, the top receiver for Penn State entered, Wallace.
From where?
Penn State's top receiver.
Yeah, they had two receivers enter. Yes.
Well, they're
one of them is visiting Syracuse and Tech.
Aaron, we did this once, and that's why we're keeping track this month. We will be giving some stuff away.
Yeah, and Hunter's right about this. There are a good amount of teams that need linebackers. It's whether or not they want to use a first-round draft pick on that or a second. Will Jackson miss the entire year? No, he's not missing any of the year. He's not missing any of the year unless he gets hurt again. Michael wants Moser fired tomorrow. What's the score on that game?
Jay, you know my thoughts on Moser. And I'm going to say this about Moser. And to me, I can't stand it when people come at me and say things like, well, yeah, you got to give him time. 3 years and not made the NCAA tournament of 68 teams.
Yeah, if he doesn't make the NCAA tournament this year, I don't think that I would be surprised if he's around again.
I'm curious Hunter, can you drop it in the chat? Find a mock draft on purely linebackers and where Danny Stutzman is on linebackers. Because it would then come down to who needs a linebacker early on. That's going to, and I haven't studied that enough. Steve says info from GMs is 22 to 40.
Yeah, that's probably about right. So it could be late first, could be second. Just depends. Yeah. You know what? To me, there's so much that goes into that too. Yes, all the combine stuff, all the pro day stuff, but there's also the how does he fit with what we want to do as a team? How does he fit personality? There's a lot of stuff that those guys look at. I kind of want to go watch Draft Day again tonight. I love that movie. You love Draft Day?
It's a great one, yeah.
I love Draft Day.
I know a guy who watches it every year on draft day, and then they watch the draft. It's a build up into it.
I got a question, and this is for everybody in the chat. I've thrown this around with a buddy of mine. Would you want to go to the draft? I kind of would want to go.
I would never care to be at the draft, Jay. I know Hunter says he does. And hey, Ron, please don't even start tonight. Just don't even. I've been waiting on you to call in for a long time. By the way, Field of 68, and you can't make it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, Moneyball is great, by the way. That is a great movie. Hey, we got a caller on the line.
Dr. Ball.
What's up, Dr. Ball?
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Doing good. How are y'all?
Good.
The NFL draft coming up. I'm a big Titans fan. Do you think the Titans should draft Cam Ward?
You know what? I'm kind of torn on who I think the top quarterback is this year. I think Cam Ward's really good. I think Shadur Sanders is good. Who's the best quarterback in the draft? I don't know. Do you think
they have to? Hey,
can he be the next great quarterback in the NFL? For some reason, I don't see him being just the next great quarterback.
They have to get someone because Levy's not it.
Yeah, I was upset when they drafted Levis because I knew he wasn't going to be good.
Do you like Ward as like the next big thing? I don't.
I think he's got a lot of poise in the pocket. He's got a big arm. He can move around when he needs to. And of course, he didn't have a defense. Of course, this year, like every time they lost, they still scored like 30 points.
Yeah.
So,
well, Mike Vrabel, in my opinion, should still be the head coach. So,
yeah, the Titans franchise, it's in. I think it's Bud Adams was the owner and his daughter's running it. Bud Adams, I don't think he had a son, I guess, to run it. So she fired Vrabel, then she just recently fired the GM that they had. So it's just a mess. But getting a franchise quarterback would help a lot, you know.
Yeah. You got to, but you got to hit on it. That's the problem because they thought they had a pretty good one in Will Levis, and look what happened. That's the thing about NFL. If you miss on a quarterback that you think's really good, it could really set you back. So we'll see.
This is the first time they've had a real high top 5 pick. You know, they got the number 1 pick. I think this is the first time I remember them ever having the number 1 pick. So Levis was like a 2nd round pick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll see what they do, man. They'll be here before you know it. So,
yeah.
Thank you for the call, Dr. Paul.
Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Hey,
Ron Wood asked if I've seen the Jerry Bailey thing. I've not yet. It's a cool. I think it's supposed to be really good. I would like to see it. It's very intriguing, but I've not seen it yet. Ron Brown, please stop the comments about that. I've said I would give him way more time. Obviously, I mean, you're on it. It's weird. You're on here every night, but it doesn't seem like it sometimes. I'm just saying because you're putting words in my mouth.
Hey, somebody put on here, and I agreed with the comment. Let me see if I can find it. Dart could be. I think Dart could be a really good NFL player.
He might be the best quarterback in the class.
Hey, you know, the title of this live, I think tonight that Hunter titled it, we talked about was the offense this year. Going into this year with Arbuckle, Mateer. Realistically, how good do you think they can be offensively? And when I say good, I want to say ranking. Compared to last year, obviously they were really bad. How high do you think this offense can get? What would you put the number at? 40?
Yeah, 40, 45, I think would be, in my opinion, you combine that with a top 20 defense, you're going to have a chance.
Well, Ohio State, for instance, Ohio State offense, I think team offense for this year is 30. And they're in the national championship.
And they got studs everywhere.
Yeah, I think maybe overall offense is what I saw. But that's a big jump, obviously, from where you were because you were at the bottom. So it'll be a lot better. I don't think anybody's doubting that. I think the O-line's a question mark, Greg. I would agree. That's where it's going to start, I think, this year. You got to have
someone asked about Daniel Akinkumi. I love Daniel Akinkumi. I just think he's a little lower on the depth chart with some of the other guys they got personally. And Jenna, no, I'm going to give Ron Brown credit. He's on here every night as Ron Brown. He doesn't change his name.
No, now Danny and Hover may be the same person, possibly. 133 to 49 is what KB Longhorn says.
That's where OU will jump to?
That's what he's saying. Hey, Hunter, what do you mean the OSU that is very deceiving? What do you mean by that? Well,
maybe I'll hop on here and say that. Must be a stat line or something. Or the games that they well, I mean, Hunter, you can say that all the time with teams. I mean, that's a bad take.
And there's a lot of teams that are ranked like top 5 that are like MAC teams or whatever that they don't play. So you can't always go. We've said this before. You can't always go off ratings. Hey, here's a question from Javion. Who will start at running back? Barnes, Tatum, and Robinson. If you had to guess right now on January 14th. Out of those 3 guys. He didn't put Sawchuk in there. So,
I mean, probably Xavier Robinson, Jay.
Tatum?
Yeah, one of those two. Hey, I do like this comment because Jay, they're just got Jags at receiver, I guess.
Notre
I like
Dame
face
has,
on
Notre Dame has 0 5-stars on their whole team.
on their whole team. Yeah, correct.
And a lot of people, hey, to be fair, a lot of people think they're going to get drilled by Ohio State. We'll see though.
Well, a lot of people thought Texas was going to get drilled by Ohio State, Jay.
Hey, what do you think what do you think about this O-line? Sexton, EPO, Everett, Nweu, Simmons. I'm not a big Nweu guy.
I'm not either, Jay.
Guy. And I don't know enough about Simmons to say, yeah, that's great. I just, those two I would be leery of right there because I don't know enough about Simmons.
Hey, are you saying the receivers? Are you saying the receivers are all 4-stars?
They have a lot of 4-stars in general on their team. They got a lot of 4-stars.
But Jay, then the people that are ripping DeMarco Murray, and look, I've been very questionable about DeMarco Murray, mainly his coaching, not his recruiting, because he's recruited a ton of 4-stars and a 5-star.
Yeah, you got to have recruiting and
it's coaching more than recruiting for him.
Barnes, somebody says Barnes. Ron can't count on Sexton. He was injured quite a bit last year. Hey, Michael, people would have to look that up.
I know a lot of them, Jay.
Okay, yeah.
They have Thomas. They have Greathouse. They have Faison. They have Mitchell Evans, the tight end.
Those are the main ones, yeah. 5-star coach. I do love Freeman. There's talk. Did you hear that Dallas may want to interview Freeman?
I'd be for it as a Cowboy fan. Yeah, recruiting is not the issue. It's not the issue for BV either.
Hey, I got to say this. I wonder, we've had a lot of people on this show talk about different things like development and stuff, right? Okay. If you look at the defense for 3 years has done what? They've gotten better every year. Well, they've had, you've had guys like Stutzman and Bowman that stuck around.
Hey,
the youngsters are playing. The youngsters are playing well, but also what hasn't changed? Your defensive philosophy. Keep in mind offensively, Lebby, Seth the Trail, now Arbuckle. You had Joe John Finley. There's no consistency on the offensive side of the ball, coaching wise. That to me has to play a part in your whole offense. If you can't get any, it's different system, it's different play. They need somebody that's. Lebby was there for 2 years. Yes, I get it. But after that, it's just been a whirlwind over there.
It's bad development, Jay. And hey, I was curious. I don't know if Steve would want to answer it or not, but how involved BV was with Zach Alley?
I've seen Elijah Thomas play. He's really good. Elijah Thomas is really good.
I think he's going to.
Guys, the people that think freshmen should just come in there and dominate, you got to, there was consistency. But
if a player's, and I can't read all this, Jay, because my screen. Can you read that?
If a player is lower on the depth chart, do you think it's possible or realistic that the player could climb up the depth chart? Development improves overall in the college football program. Yes.
If the coaches will allow it and see it.
Yeah, Elijah Thomas is good. Hey, the BB stuff, KB, here's what I would say. 2 years in a row, he didn't have great recruiting classes. Now he's had 2 really good recruiting classes. But those 2 years and missing guys in the portal that they thought were going to be really good, I think has hurt them talent-wise on the line. I think they have really good offensive linemen that are young. They just didn't have any experiences last year. And I think those 2 years of bad, not really good recruiting classes hurt Bill Benovo. And it bit him last year and the year before. That's what I would say, just kind of as a fan.
And Jay, there is this. I probably shouldn't even go there, but I'm going to because I think I'm going to use this scenario, and I'm going with based on what Eric's saying because I agree with Eric that a lot of guys that probably should have been on the field haven't in a lot of position groups, younger guys, mainly on offense. We all know this is true. But Jay, it's almost like when coaches get in the red zone.
Yeah.
And instead of just running the ball up the middle on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, they get cute because it's almost like they want to have more control than they actually need. Just run. Hey, Burke, run the dang ball. Run the ball or make the simple decision instead of doing something trickery so that you can get credit. I think they do that with play personnel decisions sometimes. I'm going to play this guy who I've developed for a few years to show people that I've really developed this guy. How about you just play the best guy?
Yeah, and Daniel's got a random trivia question here. Name your top 5 game-changing plays. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. Example, being sack or block punt. Game-changing plays to me, number 1 would, in my opinion, is a turnover. Fumble or interception. I would say 1.
Correct.
Number 2, I would say a
kickoff return.
A special teams touchdown. Whether it be a block touchdown, a field goal, I would say that too. And that could almost be 1. Number 3, man, that's hard to get 5. Let's see. I mean,
I got one for you. I got one for you that maybe it's not on there because I can't see all the question. But yeah, I think that.
Is he talking just about OU plays or what? Go ahead, Jerm. Sorry.
A 15-yard penalty sometimes is a very crucial play. I mean, like, kick returns up there, though.
Speaking of penalties, I really wish there was a couple. They need to change this rule. Okay? I think it's one of the dumbest rules in football is the face mask. They need to change it. There is too many times where a guy's going after the quarterback and accidentally grabs a face back or he hits a shoulder pad that slides up here, 15-yard penalty, you don't get the sack. Like, can they change to like incidental and it's only 5 yards? They never do it. They call it 15 yards almost all the time. It's stupid. Wow, look at that. Jay, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
I've been on this for a while about Porter Moser. You know my take on it. I don't need to have the live show tonight to go on it again, the rant again. It's terrible. I'm sick and tired of the Porter Moser era.
The problem you got to have is if you lose this game, it may go really south.
And hey, you want me to just go down the list and name players who played for 1 year under Porter Moser and said, I'm getting out of there. Guys like Jalen Hill, Elijah Harkless, Emoja Gibson. We go on and on. Guys, Javion McCollum. They played 3 years in the league. Caden Cooper, who should have played last year as a freshman, is having a great year in Louisiana. Dayton Forsythe, a local guy who could get on the floor until conference play and actually play pretty well, can't see the floor.
Well, that's what I don't get is a guy like that.
Hey! See ya, Porter!
Boomer Sooner says Porter can't dribble and pass for them. Stop with the Porter Moser stuff. The guy won at Loyola.
Oh, hey, please, Boomer. Please, Boomer. Hey, you know what? Boomer Sooner, that is a horrible take.
Here's the difference. And Boomer, I've probably been the biggest Porter backer out of all of us here. Okay, but here's the thing. The difference was at Loyola, that was before all this portal stuff. He had guys for 4 years there. And he could develop them, and he could run his system. And you know what? Sometimes I said this in college football with the whole Kalen DeBoer stuff. When everyone was on DeBoer, I said, it's different coaching at a big-time program. Listen, just because you can coach at Loyola doesn't mean that you're – hey, I don't – listen, no. I'm not going to do this tonight about Porter Moser. I'm not. Here's the deal. Guys, I don't care. It's not my decision to hire or fire anybody. But you cannot not make the tournament for 4 years in a row at Oklahoma and say that's
68 teams make a Boomer Sooner. How would they be in worse shape when they might be able to go get a guy that way better than Porter? You can't say he's done anything.
Hey, we got a caller on the line. We got Johnson on the line. What's up, Johnson?
Hey, man, I've been saying this for all season. This is the most embarrassing time to be an OU fan. We are an embarrassment to SEC. Joe C owns the worst football team in the SEC, the worst basketball team in the SEC. He got us in this mess, get us in the SEC. He's horrible contracts. He's scared to pull the trigger. He doesn't listen to the fans. He doesn't listen to the boosters anymore. He thinks he's above everything. This is Joe C's problem, and it's not going away. This offense on the OU football team We got the same sorry coaches on the offensive side of the ball. Arbuckle. I mean, why would Arbuckle?
We don't know anything about Arbuckle, Johnson.
Dude, he
He's
didn't
been
change
good
no
everywhere he's
offensive
been.
coaches. He comes in. He has no say. You're gonna have the same crap as next year. Murray's gonna play. He's gonna play one running back one game and then another one. Then he's gonna flip back and forth. And you're gonna think you're gonna play somebody else, and he don't know who he's gonna play. It's a joke down there. It's a complete disaster, dude.
Johnson, I got to ask you a question, Johnson.
It's a disaster.
Johnson, let me ask you a question. Where were all you people like this when Riley was there and Beatenbow was still there and DeMarco Murray was still there? Where was everybody whining about?
And Riley brought Joe John Finley in. Why
was anybody whining about Bill Beatenbow and DeMarco Murray then? Tell me that. They weren't winning. They were winning. That's the difference.
Okay, well, just keep screaming at me, but I'm going to tell you, next year they're going to go 4-8, and they're going to fight, and then they're going to. What are they going to do the next year?
Hey, Johnson,
it's not going to change, dude. It's not going to change.
I'm agreeing with you that they
had better players with Riley, dude. Wake up! They had better players.
I agree.
They had way better players.
I agree, and that's on
they
the
developed players. They had better
players.
To me,
they don't have
they
haven't had a coordinator there.
It's gone to a cesspool of crap.
Hey,
you can sit here and say all you want to, dude. This is horrible. This is the most embarrassing thing. If you would just get off this live chat for 5 minutes and watch what we just watched, this is the most embarrassing thing.
I'm not saying it's not.
It's like watching a church league basketball game.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not, Johnson.
It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Jerry, let me talk for a second.
Every night we get on here and talk about why is Joe John Finley still there? DeMarco Murray, why is he still there? Oh, we're gonna play Rob. We're gonna play all these players. He didn't play nobody. He don't develop anybody. He's horrible.
Hey, I am not disagreeing with you on any of that, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I think the biggest Joe C issue was the contract stuff because
he got us in this mess. And why is he still there? Why is he so below? He's not the best athletic director in the country. Wake up!
No one said he's the best in the country.
Everybody think you said it the other day. He's
Johnson.
He's beloved. He's terrible.
Hey, you know what, Johnson? You can be beloved and not be the best.
No, he's terrible. He's absolutely terrible.
Listen,
let me break this down for you. Let me break it down for you. So what's going to happen is OU women gymnastics. They're going to perform. They probably win the national championship. Softball team's going to perform. So the women are going to pull it out, and everyone's going to be loved. And then that's going to get us catapult over to we're going to have a better football team. It's going to be the same crap. Until you fire Joe C. and you fire stuff from the top, you're going to get the same result, dude.
Hey,
it's like a definition of insanity. Do the same thing over and over, and you get nothing.
That is the definition of an insanity to do the same thing.
This is exactly what we're doing.
Hey, it's got to be better.
Just fired Benefilis from the beginning. Just fired him and got it over with.
From the beginning.
In 12 months, he's going to be gone.
Well, we'll see. We will see.
I guarantee he's going to be gone. He's gone. He's terrible.
You also guarantee he was the man.
If there was never NIL, would BV be there right now?
What?
If Brent Venables had the same record and we didn't have to have extra money for NIL and the transfer portal and all this stuff, would Venables still be there?
Yes. Would Josie? They like Brent Venables. They do.
I don't care. It is terrible. It is the most asinine thing that every single game in the SEC hates Oklahoma. I mean, why in the world is OU Texas on at 9:00 at night in Norman, Oklahoma?
Well, that's an SEC thing. I agree.
Because they hate OU and they don't respect OU. They don't care.
I think it's done that.
Johnson,
they don't care. I mean, they're putting trash.
Johnson, who would you hire
at 9:00 at night?
Hey, who would you hire if they got rid of BV next year? Who would you hire?
I have no idea right now at this point.
Hey, can I speak for a second, Jake?
Sure.
I agree a lot with what Johnson said. Okay. First off, no one's sitting here saying BV's done amazing. I've been on the Porter Moser stuff for 3 years. But listen, no one said anything about Castiglione when he hired Bob Stoops bad. And no one said anything about when Lincoln Riley was hired. And no one said anything about when Lon Kruger was hired.
It's because they're losing.
Last two have been bad.
They're losing. That's the problem.
The last two have been bad, yes.
It's not because the reason I'm saying this is because he's made some stupid moves, and no one understands. And in this day and age, OU is in a position right now they may never recover from this. And the moves that he's made has been so idiotic; it didn't make any sense.
Hey.
You go 6-7, and then last year when they go 10-3. That was the easiest schedule in OU football history, and you still didn't win the Big 12. And then you give him a contract extension, and then this year goes the same thing, and next year is going to be even worse because the schedule gets worse. It's not going to get any better. It's not getting any better.
Hey, here's the thing, though, Johnson. Unfortunately, where they're at, it for OU's sake, it's better if Brent Venables works out. Because I think if it doesn't work out and he don't win games next year and they get rid of him, I think you could be looking at what Texas went through, and it took them a while to get the right guy in there.
Well, that's exactly where we're at. It's pathetic. It is not going to get any better. I don't understand how you think it's going to get better.
Well, I think the offense is going to be a lot better. Do you?
No.
Oh my! You don't think the offense is going to be better?
It can't be worse.
No. It can't be. Johnson? Come on, Johnson. You don't think it'll be better than 133rd ranked?
No, I think that last 7 games, that schedule is going to be a brutal schedule, and they may go 2-5.
Too. I mean, I don't understand. You got to know it's going to be better offensively.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Johnson, I got one question for you before you hang up, because you'll be at the game because you're a diehard. I know you are. You're a lifelong fan.
I went to gymnastics all weekend with women's basketball.
I know you did. You did.
I still go there, but it's just it's so frustrating to watch.
So listen. Second week of the year, if OU beats Michigan, are you going to be calling saying BV's it?
No, I won't.
You did against Bama.
Yeah. I must have been drunk that night or something. So
I love you, Johnson. I love you, man.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Hey, see ya. Jay, I agree a lot with what Johnson said about the stuff about the contracts is outrageous. Joe Castiglione is 100% accountable for that. Okay. The Porter Moser hire, he went with the hot commodity and it was wrong. Lon Kruger was 10 times. Now, Lon Kruger was a hire of Joe C's. That was a good one. But Porter Moser and BV have not panned out. It's bad. It's been bad. There's no excuse. But it could change. I don't think the Porter Moser stuff at all I don't think he'll be here after this season.
Well, and Eric's asking Jay, and this is a hypothetical. So if BV wins 9 next year, then 7 the following. No, I think if he wins 9 next year with that schedule, first off, if they went from 9 next year to 7 the following with probably an easier schedule, that would be very disappointing. So, yeah, I can't answer 3 years down the road, Eric. I need Oklahoma to win next year, period. I want Oklahoma to win. That's all I can say is I want them to win. I think for Oklahoma's sake, it's better if next year they win games and they are to keep Brent Venables for quite a while. It's better for Oklahoma if BV succeeds. Who agrees with that? It's better for Oklahoma if Brent Venables succeeds. Would you agree, Jeremy?
Absolutely. I think everyone would. Hey, Jay, I give Johnson credit. Kudos for calling in. Johnson, kudos for calling in. You go to everything. You're a diehard Sooner fan. I'm not questioning that at all.
Hey, and I'm not questioning Johnson. Listen, I know a lot of people say, oh, you allow callers and people are negative. You know what? It is a fan channel, and we let fans talk about their opinions, okay? And, yeah, sometimes that's negative. But we do argue with them back and forth, so it's not like we just let them say their opinion and move on.
And, by the way, that was one of the best moments of the Surge when Johnson called in after the Bama game. We were so pumped. He was pumped. It was great.
And listen, wait, listen. I got to say something. The whole – guys, Johnson, as a lot of OU fans are frustrated. I would be –
OU basketball is horrible to watch right now.
I would be very, very disappointed if every OU fan was like some people I see on Twitter that thinks OU's better than Texas still, and OU had a better year than Texas, just they had a bad schedule. I love it that fans are like passionate. that, you know what? They are tired of it. They want it to be better. I get that. Okay. Johnson's a passionate fan, and he was super passionate when OU beat Alabama. Okay. He was pumped up. And then now he's frustrated. He wants it to be better. Next year, if OU goes and win 9 or 10 games, Johnson will be on there saying, this is great. Brent Venables is great. Okay. Guys, it's fandom. That's what it is. I mean, it's fandom.
Yes. And the basketball hire, when he made that hire, Jay, he got arguably the most sought after coach in the game.
Let me say something though on this basketball
Didn't
deal.
pan out.
I got to say something about the Porter Moser stuff. Okay. And you could even say about I don't know, but do you know where OU was picked in the SEC this year, Jerm?
Answer
the question.
You can't say that. You can't
answer the question. Where were they
bad?
picked?
14.
No, 15th out of 16.
Okay.
It's just because they overachieved in the non-conference that people thought they were going to.
They don't look the same ever, Jay.
Because they're playing good teams, though, except tonight.
Michigan's a good basketball team. Arizona's a really good basketball team. A&M, they're up 18 against a really good basketball team.
I agree, but
Porter Moser can't get it. Porter Moser can't get it done when it matters. His players freak out because he freaks out.
You know what I think it is? This is my honest opinion of Porter
It would
Moser.
be like me. Do you think my kids are going to be calm when I'm yelling? Probably not,
No,
Jay. It's the same thing.
Jerm, what you do is a trait of what your coaches do. Like the players, if they're playing tight, it's because in practices in conference, they're changing something to make the team feels like they're must-win games or they're tight or whatever. I don't know I can't put my finger on it, but it's not a one-time thing. This is every single year with Oklahoma basketball. They get almost to the top 10, and then they fall faster than I don't know what, but they fall faster than me falling on ice the other day.
Kenneth, I respect. I love the fact that you're on here all the time, but again, why you're comparing Dylan Gabriel and Jackson Arnold? OU wasn't making the playoff with Dylan Gabriel either. So with that line and those play calls, Dylan Gabriel did the best thing for him. What's the score now on the game, Jay?
Hey, Okie Long Guy, I respectfully disagree with this. I know he's not the one shooting the ball, but you do have, I mean, he is the coach. And for them to be 0-4 in the conference if they lose tonight, and this has been a trend under Porter Moser for 3 years. It's been a trend when they got in conference, they fell backwards.
Hey, Michael.
I don't know the issue about it. I don't know why.
Michael, go look at the last 3 years. It's a mass exodus every year. Of the team that they put on the floor tonight, Sam Godwin and Jalen Moore, the only 2 players that play that were on this team last year.
Hey, and let me say this. The ones that are in the chat saying, get rid of basketball, cut it, get out of here.
Stop it.
Get rid of men's basketball. Are you kidding? Are you serious?
They still may make the tourney this year.
It doesn't matter. We're not going to get rid of – who's not going to get rid of men's basketball? Come on now. Let's be a little bit better than that. Get rid of men's basketball? What would that do? What would that do? You have a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you mean? You think we're getting a big? Yeah. Oh, you could get a big name, and you don't have to get a big name to be good.
Caller on the line. We got Keith. What's up, Keith? How are you tonight?
Hey guys, I tell you, I was watching the OU Texas game, and it just makes me sick. The fact that they just get further and further behind.
That's what happens when you turn the ball over and miss shots in basketball.
And you can't rebound. You don't block out.
But, you know, for those of us old guys, we remember the heydays back to Barry Switzer, Billy Tubbs, when both elements, football and basketball, were soaring. And then it's like it nosedived.
Well,
we got
not
through.
That, you don't have to go back to Switzer and Tubbs. Lon Kruger and was it Lon Kruger and Riley both in the playoff in the Final Four?
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago.
Well, Kelvin Sampson. We had great years with Kelvin Sampson. I wish they would have kept him. But, I mean, I don't know why everybody hates BV. I mean, give the man a break.
Hey, Keith, nobody hates.
It's not hating BV.
They want to win games. That's what
I love BV.
Well, I do too. But I mean, come on. He's trying to assemble an all-star staff. We got Ben Arbuckle. We got John Martier.
Okay, but here's where I disagree with you, Keith. And I love Eduardo Nahara. He was great. Eduardo Nahara was great. Hey, here's where I disagree, Keith. You say he's trying to assemble an all-star staff, yet he still has Joe John Finley on the all-star staff. Help me out, man.
I agree. I don't understand that. I mean, give Ben Arbuckle a chance to clean up the staff.
Giving mixed signals. Says he wants to be great, but then does a decision like that.
I agree. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's like Ben Arbuckle ought to be able to get rid of people he needs to get rid of and bring in people he needs to bring in.
Yeah. I mean, what has to happen this year, in my opinion, and I don't want to make comparisons, but what they have to do offensively is similar. They don't have to be as good as when Lincoln Riley came in, but they got to make a big jump. If you remember, they went from Heupel to Lincoln Riley, and they made quite a big jump in year one offensively. For them to win, they got to have a lot better offensive team. Their defense is going to be good. I don't care who you bring in as DC, if it's Brent Venables calling it or whoever. Defense is going to be really good. You got to have an offensive unit that can put drives together and score points, period, and then see what happens. And hopefully they win games. Hopefully it equals win.
Does no one remember back when Lincoln Riley was here how bad the defense was? I mean, okay, the offense
wasn't as bad as OU's offense was this year.
Well, but the offense had to outperform the defense.
Yes.
Right, but it was still probably top 50.
Yeah, and so the offense would always score a massive amount of points, but the defense would give up a massive amount of points. So it was neck and neck. And everybody knew we got to get better on defense. And so now we have.
Now you got to get better offensively. It's got to be It's got to be the whole package.
And I hope BV does it. But right now you have to question some things until you see it happen.
I mean,
look, if we didn't question things, if you didn't question things, then actually I put a quote out on our Twitter tonight. Did you read it?
No.
I'm going to paraphrase it because I'll miss it. Chris Rusan said it, but the quote is, and Hunter, can you post it in there? Basically, there's so much fake in the world today that when someone is actually real, it comes across as offensive. And that's kind of where a lot of people are at. It's like, if anyone says anything about BV, it comes to any truth that's based on the 3 years, it comes as offensive.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, I want BV to be the guy. I want him to be the guy.
OU is being dealt a very bad hand from the SEC getting these ridiculously strong schedules. And
you got to win. You got to win games. You know what? Because you go back to last year, Keith, and I'm going to go a couple games in particular. Missouri, I don't care what lineup OU had out there. They had a chance to win that game, and they decided at the end to try to go down there and drive 90 yards with an offense that couldn't move the ball, and they lost.
That's right.
So there's games that they could have won last year that they didn't, even though they had injuries and all that. They still could have won a few more games, I think. So
I agree.
Hey, appreciate it. Call,
Thanks,
Keith.
Hey,
all right. Take care.
Good night, Keith.
Jay, there's the quote. Read that quote. It says, being fake is so common now that being real is seen as offensive. And you could take that with a lot of things. I really put it on our Twitter because we're a podcast that tells it like it is, but people are offended by a lot of things that we say, even though they're true. But hey, one thing I want to say is the quote is the comment by Johnson. Nice guys finish last. I know the old adage, not always true. Marcus Freeman's a really nice guy. And guess what? I saw the Riley Leonard quote today about Ohio State and Notre Dame are talking about as much as Jesus Christ as anyone. And I know there's been people who have said, well, you can't win when all you do is talk about Jesus and be nice. Wrong. They're winning. Guess what? In the end, I told you again, the locking arms, what he says that's nice has nothing to do with winning football games. Tony Dungy didn't finish last.
It doesn't matter. This is all about wins and losses. Okay. It is, period. It's all about wins and losses. I'm trying to keep up with this chat. Can't keep up with all of it. Apparently OU's getting destroyed in basketball. I don't understand it.
I'm glad I didn't watch all of it tonight, Jay. I'm glad I just saw the first 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, maybe we should. This is embarrassing to be losing by this many points to a rival school. Not that. Who a
With a
rival
good
school?
crowd.
Rival
Good crowd.
school, good crowd. And Texas has 0 wins in conference too, by the way. 0. 8 straight losses to Texas. Has Porter ever beat him?
No, hey, Johnson, come on, man. Hey,
Never beat him.
listen, Johnson.
What?
No, he has maybe once. Yes, I want BV to succeed, not because he's nice.
Better for OU if he succeeds.
It'd be best for the program. Do I like BV? Absolutely. And by the way, so do the players. There's not been a mass exodus because they kept him. Hey, wait. Chuck. I 1,000,000% agree with you. I can't stand it when my point was there are people who say, well, you can't talk about that or be real nice and win games. You can. It's irrelevant to winning. By the way, what the Texas guy said was spot on. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it about Jesus. That was a great comment. And I agree. It's football. It's not, to me, it's not on the priority list on many things. So, hey, and Kenneth, I'm not going to show the comment. I don't know why that's brought up. Like, again, people are bringing up things that don't need to be brought up.
Stop trying, Mark says. I guess they gave up.
Yeah, that's a sign of a major coaching issue when the players give up.
And you're right about this, Zias. They did have some tight games, and they've had a tough schedule. But you know what? OU's schedule does not get any easier. I mean, you get South Carolina at home, and then you go to I don't even remember. Maybe it's Auburn. It's just not. No, it's Arkansas. It's Arkansas after that. They have their own.
Great God, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say some things that he's done good, and I'm going to say some things that have been awful. No one can dismiss game management, some of his hires, some of the personnel decisions, some of the talk that's been said, the injury issues, all that stuff. It's been horrible. Bad. He has recruited well. He has retained players at a pretty high level. The defense has gotten better. So now, tell me good things Joe John Finley's done as tight end coach.
Who are you talking to? Greg Goddard?
Saying that people rip Joe John Finley but not BV. It's ridiculous.
Braden Willis, Kyle says. Recruited Devon Mitchell. He got Mitchell.
Yeah, that was a great get. I was waiting for someone to say that one.
And I agree with Michael 1,000% on this. It's the hires. That's been a big problem. Probably the major problem. But it doesn't matter, guys. We could go talk about Brent Venables and this staff for the next 4 months until this, whenever spring get whatever. It doesn't matter. Brent Venables has to win games. Period. It is what it is. We'll see if it happens, guys. I mean, Wayne got Arbuckle. We'll see what that does offensively. I don't know if it's going to equal wins, guys. I do not know. I not read the future. I don't know.
Hey, but you know what? A lot of people, I can't read the future, and a lot of people can't remember the past because I've sat on here and said BV is at fault for the 6 and 7 seasons. So you know what, Greg God? I don't have any issues mentioning I'm wrong.
Well, for some reason, people think,
but you don't listen if you think I've been sitting here saying BV's the answer for everything. Obviously,
I don't understand why people
do
that.
that every single night people are saying that. It's ridiculous, man.
I mean, Ron's put it in there a couple of times about how that too, and I'm like, have they been watching? I mean, we're trying. Just to be, I don't know what people want. I really don't.
Corrections. There isn't a scenario where Moser gets fired midseason.
No, there's
the only way
zero chance. Zero.
No, there isn't. If there is something done that shouldn't have been done, or if the players just walk out on the guy.
It's not going to happen, Jaron.
No, I don't think it is either, Jay. He said, is there a scenario? I gave you one.
And I agree. Next year, if they have a 9-3 or 10-2 season, yeah, everything changes as far as the narrative. But they got to go out there and do that. Purple. They have to go do it, and they got a tough schedule next year. Brutal.
I'm just trying to remember when I said BV was it and the king of coaching.
I don't know, Jeremy. It's probably because you just didn't come out and say he's trash like a lot of people do. I don't know. It is what it is. Hey, I got a trivia question tonight.
Yeah, let's do the trivia.
Check out the Fan Stop, www.thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE to get 10% off your first 3 months. Also, you can check out the hoodies. You can check out the hats, all of it. Go check them out, thefanstop.com. Here we go. I'm going to do a basketball trivia. OU versus Texas. OU loses 84-83, 2017. Who was the leading scorer for OU basketball that game? Scored 29 points for that game. And we'll look for the answer in here. And
hey, and I've got to disagree with Eric. It's not unusual. I do that a lot, and he does that with me a lot. It's great. It's not sunshine pumping to say you want OU to succeed. I'm sorry, to say I want BV to succeed, and I know you claim that he's run the program in the dirt, and I agree. It's been bad. It's been so bad. That doesn't mean I don't that I'm sunshine pumping by saying I want him to be better, and I want this team to be better and succeed. It's not sunshine pumping, man. It's fandom.
918 again with the correct answer. Doolittle.
Christian Doolittle was great.
918 is on a heater. Hunter, I don't know if
Tiny Gallon. Remember Tiny Gallon and Tommy Mason Griffin and Willie Warren and those guys?
He's got 4 out of the last, I think, 5. 918's on a heater. Yeah. Hey, what about that hire from Joe C? Jeff Capel.
That was a bad one. Willie Warren was great.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, Eric? BV is at OU. So by saying I want BV to win, I'm saying I want OU to win. Like, they go hand in hand.
DB, what bad hand was BV dealt to any new coach hasn't been dealt? I think that was off of Daniel's question.
That was Tommy's comment. It was Tommy Johnson made a comment about Lincoln Riley. Hey, but we could get into all that, but it's about time, Jay. We're almost an hour in. Let's save that for tomorrow. That'd be great to start with. Hey, okay, Eric, again, you can't tell me how mad I am, and that's what I cannot stand, Eric, is when you say, Germ, you're not mad enough. Germ, here's what you're feeling. Stop it. You're not Oprah or Dr. Phil or anyone. You don't know how I'm feeling, and you don't know how mad I am about something. But, geez, stop saying I'm part of the problem. You are part of the problem if you're going to say that, period.
Why'd you turn your camera off? All right. Oprah, I guess.
You know who's part of the problem, Eric? People who can never say they're wrong. What's at the center of pride? The letter I. I say I'm wrong all the time. I say OU's in bad shape. I'm not mad enough, though. Hey, I'll chill out.
Are you done, Jerem? Are you done?
Oh, yeah. Jay, you've grown up with me. How mad am I when OU loses?
After the game or during the game? Which one?
All.
It's pretty hard to handle on the other end of the line, I'll tell you that.
Hey, guys, it's genuine. Hey, I agree, Eric. Eric, you've never been wrong. I know that. It's good. I wish I was like that. Unfortunately, I've made a lot of bad picks this year. I've talked some players up that didn't pan out. I've been bad this year, Eric. I admit it. Eric, you have been GOAT. Every pick you made, it's been amazing. I don't know what else you want me to say, but kudos. I wish maybe next year will be my year. Hey, Jay, it's been great. Thanks, everyone. Hey, appreciate everyone that's been on here every single night. We love it. Even when there's disagreements, we love it. Thanks so much. OU's not going to come back from this massacre tonight. Hit the like before you leave. Turn on the notifications. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. We will see everyone tomorrow night to do it again. Have a terrific Thursday, Sooner Nation.